Okay, welcome everybody to this Vinyasa flow class. Today we're going to work on some core work, some hip opening, arm balances, and I do apologize right off the bat. So when I filmed this, the audio didn't work, so I'm doing a voiceover. Therefore, my words are not going to match necessarily my hand movements or my mouth, but I will match them to the poses. So you can watch along, listen along, follow along, And let's start in an easy seat. So find a nice comfortable seat. Cross-legged, maybe on your knees. Feel free to sit up on a blanket or a block. And I want your pelvis to be in neutral. So you can play with tilting your bum forward and back a little bit so you find a nice space in your low back. There's a little indentation inwards towards your belly button in your low back, your lumbar spine. So make sure you have that. Stack your spine nice and tall. Relax your shoulders out of your ears. And close your eyes and focus on your breath. And I'm going to be quiet for a little bit because I want you to be just listening to your own breathing, tuning into your own body. Notice how you feel, etc., etc. We're going to practice some diaphragmic breathing. So first notice where in your body your breath is going. And we're going to breathe all the way deep into our belly space, the bottom of our diaphragm, the back of our diaphragm. So lift up your hands as you work to hold onto some mugs or a cup. And then place your hands on your low ribs. So your front fingers are on those front ribs, your thumb is on your back ribs. We're going to breathe deeply into your hands, in and out of your nose. And just keep breathing. Just feel your ribs expand, pressing into your fingers, all the way up into your chest. You can be in your Ujjayi breath, so continue breathing in and out of your nose, but create a little bit of a vibration in the back of your throat, a little texture to your breath. And here, extend both of your legs out, like Dandasana. The right ankle goes on top of the left, and then pull both ankles in towards you. So now you're sitting cross-legged with the opposite shin in front. You're going to flex your ankles, have the shins cross right in the middle of the shins, and wrap the right arm underneath the left for eagle arms. If eagle arms is too much, just hold on to your shoulders. That's a nice stretch. And we're going to start as an inhale, reach the elbows up and back. Exhale, round the spine forward. And again, inhale, lift the elbows, arch your spine. And exhale, round like a scared cat. And continue on your own breath. Opening up the upper back, the shoulders. Good. And unwind. Roll your shoulders around a little bit, loosey-goosey. Extend your legs. This time the left ankle goes on top. Pull your legs in towards you. Flex the feet. Cross at the middle of your shins. Opposite arm under. Squeeze your arms or your shoulders. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Final time, move on your own breath. Good. And unwind. And again, roll your shoulders a little bit. Let it feel good. crawl the right fingertips away from you. Reach the left arm up and over. Stretch out the whole side body. Keep the hips rooted so you feel that nice safety there. And let's go to the other side. And on your breath, we'll go forward and back a few times. So inhale, stretch, and exhale, other side. So adding some vigor to your movement. Inhale and exhale. Bring the right hand to your opposite knee, left hand behind you. Inhale to lift your chest. And exhale, rotate your chest behind you. On every inhale, get a little bit taller. And on every exhale, you can twist a little bit more. These subtle movements with your breath here. Unwind. Breathe. Feel any differences side to side. And walk your hands forward. Let's get into the hips. Keep walking your hands as far as you can. You don't even have to go that far. Bow yourself over your legs. Letting your legs open up. Walk yourself back in. Bring your feet on the floor, hands behind you, fingertips point out, and lift your chest. Pretend there's something pulling your chest up. Shoulder blades draw behind you. Of course they're behind you, but draw them towards each other and down your back to lift your chest. And then press into your hands and your feet to lift your hips. Throat long, throat back. Breathe. Opening your shoulders here, the front of your body. It's totally fine if your hips don't lift up as high as mine do. Just do what you can. Release your hips down. And here, cross your ankles again. Try to put the opposite shin in front. It's okay if you forget which one that was. Left hand down, stretch that right arm up and up and up and over. And then keep all that length as you twist. So bring the hand to the opposite knee, left hand behind you. Inhale to lift your chest. And exhale, rotate. So you can think of your spine like the pull at the barber shop. Just twisting up. Gently release. Come back to neutral spine. And close your eyes and breathe. And walk your hands out. Feel that stretch in your outer hips. Lift yourself back up. Feet on the floor, and then rock your knees side to side, giving your back a little bit of a twist. And also you're massaging your outer hip. So, if you have that Netflix bum or just from sitting a lot, your bum gets tight. And if you find any places that feel, a little bit icky, like there might be something stuck there, take some time to roll around on those places a little bit more. Bring your hands behind you again. Fingertips point out away from each other. I find that a little bit easier on your shoulders. Feet flat on the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest and then lift your hips. Throat long, throat back. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands on the floor, and feel your breath move through your body. Take one more big breath in. And exhale to release. Come forward onto your hands and knees. Tops of your feet press down. Get situated here. And we're going to start with our fingers pointing away from each other, just like they were when we were doing that reverse tabletop position. We're going to do some, I guess they're called scapula push-ups. So your thoracic spine, like the middle of your spine, between your shoulder blades, that's the part of your spine we're going to be working with. And we're just going to move that space. So you can press into the floor, lift your shoulders. It's kind of like you're lifting your upper back up, and then exhale, drop the mid back down, and inhale, lift it up. So rather than doing cat-cows, we're just isolating the space between our shoulder blades, warming up your shoulder girdles. And do this on your own breathing. So I like doing an inhale as I sink down, exhale, press up. As you do this, keep pressing into your fingertips. As you get more comfortable, you can pick up the speed, go a little bit faster, really warming up this space. And kind of memorize when your shoulder blades are spread apart more, when that upper back is rounded. That's where we're going to be when we're doing arm balances. And from here, fingertips flip back towards your knees, stretching out the tops of your forearms. And get settled in this position, stretching out the wrists. Inhale, drop the belly, open your chest, lift the gaze, and exhale, round your spine in the opposite direction. So moving through our cat-cows, inhale, belly down, chest forward. Exhale, round your spine. You can play with trickling from one vertebra at a time, beginning from the low back. Really move one breath to one movement. Now come on to fingertips, tuck your toes, send your sit bones back towards your heels for an extended child's pose, but we're also stretching out the shoulders. So stay up on those fingertips, let your chest drop down. Breathe into the soles of your feet. Inhale, look up a little bit, stretch out your throat, move through your thoracic spine. And then drop the palms, come back towards your tabletop position. Keep those toes curled under. We'll take a breath here. Spread the fingers and really root your fingertips down onto the floor, especially the roots of your knuckles. And then lift your knees a couple of inches up off the floor. You can dome your back body so you feel your low belly really engage. Keep that engagement in your low belly as you round the spine. And then bring the right knee towards your right shoulder. Inhale. Pull it up real high. And then exhale, drop the right knee towards your right wrist. Bring it over to the left wrist, up to the left shoulder, over to the right shoulder, down to the right wrist. And continue making these squares with your right knee. Really working the core here. Move with your breath. So inhale for a full one. Exhale when you need to. Both feet touch back towards each other, back onto the mat. Round the upper spine. Left knee comes to your left shoulder. And then drop the left knee down to the left wrist, over to the right wrist. Inhale up. Exhale left. Full exhale down. Inhale right. Good. Just make sure you're breathing, connecting the breath with your movements. So you're engaging those really deep abdominals, the transverse abs, the deepest layers. You have 7 layers of abs. Both toes back onto the floor, and here, cow action. So lift those hips up, keep the action in your pelvis, and press the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Keep rooting down through your fingertips. Maybe your heels can come onto the floor, but definitely not necessary. Even consider bending into your knees. We're thinking about the length in our spine here. On your inhale, massage the low belly a little bit so the low belly can release after that ab work. Keep tilting your hips up, pressing your thighs back, and breathe. Good. Down dog feels so good. And we can begin to walk our down dog. So bend into one knee. And as you bend into that knee, the heel will lift the toes on the opposite foot. So whatever respecting leg is straight, try to lift those toes. If your heels never touch the floor, no big deal. We're just slowly walking the dog. And then drop your knees onto the floor. Sit back into a child's pose with those toes curled under, fingertips on the floor, right where we were before. So again, opening the bottom of your feet. It's all connected. Drop your forearms onto the floor so they're parallel to each other. Either hands flat on the floor or interlace your fingers. I like tucking that bottom finger underneath. And extend the right leg back, then the left. We're coming into our forearm plank. So try to keep your shoulders, hips, and heels in one straight line. We're going to do those protracting and retracting of the shoulders again. So again, really getting into those shoulders. Drop the thoracic spine, then lift it up. So shoulder blades come together and then separate. Just as we would do in that cat-cow. You can speed it up. And this movement is coming from the shoulder girdle rather than your head moving up and down. So try to keep your head in one line. And now we're holding forearm plank for a full minute. Press your elbows down so shoulder blades can spread a bit. A little bit of cow action in your chest, so kind of pull your chest forward. And see, I just did it there and that really corrected it. So think cow in your chest, cat in your low back. So slight tuck of your tailbone so that low belly lifts up, just as we were doing before on those all fours. And can't forget about your legs here. Look at how long your legs are. They're so heavy. So make them powerful too. Energy out of your heels. Keep pressing your thighs up. Keep breathing. Breath is so important. Notice what you're thinking, your habits, where your thoughts tend to go. We're getting closer. Good. Focus on alignment. And drop your knees back down. Come up into tabletop and then into child's pose with your wrists down by your heels so your shoulders can just droop down. Relax those shoulders down. Let your forehead rest down, settle in. Feel your breath wash over your body. Look forward. Stretch the arms forward. Forearms on the floor, hands interlaced. Try to switch the interlace with your hand. So whichever one you didn't naturally do, put the other pinky finger underneath. Step back into your forearm plank and dolphin pose. Walk your feet closer to your elbows so your hips lift. Your spine is as it is in down dog, so nice long spine. This asks a lot of your shoulders and those hamstrings. And keep pressing your elbows down so you're lifting your armpits up. Your armpits are hollow rather than wide and fluffy. So roll your outer arms in a bit. Good. And keep breathing. Feel that nice stretch in the back of your hammies. As you do this, press the front of your thighs towards those femur bones. So the tops of your legs are pretty active. Try not to open the hip, but lift the right leg up high towards the ceiling. Feel the sole of the foot open, so the whole back of the foot opens. It's all connected. Good, and this is just such a good way to warm up the whole body. You can roll your ankle a little bit. And switch sides. Lift the left leg up so the right foot lands, left leg lifts. Lift from the inner thigh. Both feet back onto the floor. And now use a lot of your strength Press into your palms, both elbows lift simultaneously, so you're in downward facing dog. It's a pretty hard transition, but it'll get easier the more you practice, as is everything. Gaze forward, take a big inhale, complete your exhale. On the bottom of your exhale, somehow get your feet up there next to your hands. You can hop, walk, float, whatever. Measure your feet so they're about hip distance, so 2 fists between the feet. It's usually hip distance. If your hands are on the floor, then hold on to opposite elbows. Actually, everyone just grab onto your opposite elbows. Rather than a random part of your bicep, seriously hold on to the elbow tips so you have some weight pulling you down. And keep tilting that tailbone up towards the floor, your thighs back onto your femur bones. However, if this hurts your low back or your hamstrings, bend into your knees. And then release. Inhale, halfway lift, middle of your back softens. Exhale, fold. 2 more times. Oh, and then inhale, reach all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the right foot back, drop the right knee. Bring your hands to your hips. And then interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, and reach your hands up. So the palms of your hands are reaching up, really lengthening the side body. You can bend a little bit deeper into that left knee, so you're opening the right psoas area. Release both hands to frame the left foot, lift the right knee, and then step the left knee, pick it up, and then step it back. So you use your abs to do that. Lower knees, chest, and chin. Release the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, cobra, and then exhale, lower. Fingertips off the mat, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders are down. Exhale, lower. Hands by your sides, tuck the toes, lift into your plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale. And then exhale, right foot forwards, drop the left knee. Hands to your hips. Here I'm keeping the toes curled. It doesn't really matter, but sometimes I think that feels a little bit more stable. Interlace the hands, palms, press forward, and then reach the palms up. Play with bending deeper into that left knee. Good. Breathe, stretch. Both hands onto the floor, lift the left knee, step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Firm your feet down. Inhale, reach your arms high. And exhale, hands to come to your heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And step the left foot back. Drop the left knee. Release the toes. Inhale, arms stretch up high. Bend into that front knee, and this time interlace your hands behind you. Pull your fists down. Keep your low ribs in as you do this. Good, yes. And reach the hands down to lift the chest. Both hands come down to the floor. Lift the left knee. Right knee pulls into your chest. Step it back, plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Crawl the fingertips out. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, lower. One more inhale. Reach the chest forward and up. Peel it up. And exhale, lower. Hands by your sides. Press into your plank pose. And then downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in down dog. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then again, interlace the hands behind your back, but put the opposite finger on top. So try to switch that interlace. Hands come down to the floor. Lift the back knee, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Adjust on your mat. and sit down into your Utkatasana chair pose. So lower the hips, palms can face towards each other. If it feels good, have the arms frame your ears. If not, the arms can reach forward a little bit more. And if this is too much on your shoulders, don't worry. And keep lowering those hips so the thighs are parallel, and now your bum hits. Lift the shins. So now we're in Navasana, boat pose. Arms reach forward. And breathe. Try to keep the back long. And then exhale, open up into your low back is down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower, low boat. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And now pause and swim those feet. Swim, swimmy, swim. You can bring your thumbs underneath your bum for a little bit more stability. Good. And then release down. Breathe into that belly. Open some space. Bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Right ankle goes on top of the left knee. Flex the right foot. This might be enough of a hip stretch right here. And wherever you are, keep pressing that right knee away from you and the right foot is flexed. Maybe bring the right hand to the right knee and press, or lift up your legs. Thread the right arm through. Actually, I take that back. We're not using our arms yet. We are just using the strength of our hips to pull our legs in towards us like this. And then reach your arms up like you're doing a handstand on the ceiling. Straighten out the left leg, not so it's totally straight. Little bend in that knee. Spread the toes and crunch up. Lift your chest up so that your shin meets your forearms. And then you can lift your hips a little bit off the floor as well. Inhale, lower. Good. And exhale, crunch up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, crunch. Inhale to lower. And now we can come into that nice stretch. So right hand interlaces, hold on to the legs, pull it towards you. Circle out the right ankle if that feels good. Notice any creaks and crannies in either of your ankles. Just notice what happens, where you're at today. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So lift that left leg up, and this time point and flex the foot a couple of times. Ankle goes on top of the right knee, and lift up the legs, pull your legs towards you, only using the strength, the mobility of your hips here. Begin to extend the right leg, not all the way. You can keep a little bend there. Stretch the hands up, the arms up. Hands are flexed, and then exhale, lift the chest. Bring the shin to the forearms. Inhale, release, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. And come back into that flexibility. The nice hip opening, reverse pigeon. Reclined pigeon, I mean. The option to twirl the ankles. Hands behind your thighs. Rock and roll yourself up and down a couple of times. So massage the length of your spine until you get enough momentum. But let it feel good. So enjoy this. And then both feet plant. Come back where you restarted. Back into that chair pose like nothing happened. And exhale, hands to come to your heart, Tadasana. Step wide on your mat. So whichever direction, toes slightly out, and then bend your knees so you're in your goddess pose. Hands come onto your thighs. We're going to do some twists. Drop the right shoulder, look over the left. Drop the left shoulder, look over the right. Nice twist for the upper back. You can also use your hands to keep pressing the knees behind you a little bit more, opening the inner thighs. And this should feel good. Nice twists after a bit of core work. Matching this to your breath, so inhale, center, exhale to twist. Come back up to standing. Feet point forward, and now bend into one knee and bend into the other. You can stay pretty tall and bring your palms onto the knees as you bend side to side. You can always have your hands way down towards the floor, or you can practice with no hands as well when you're pretty low, getting really into those inner thighs, strengthening and stretching. Hands come behind you, another back bend, so lift the heart. And as you exhale, fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana C. Keep a strong bind in your fingers. Shoulders are out of those ears. Even out the weight on the feet. So pretend your feet are like pancake batter. Spread them. Let them firm onto the floor. Release your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips. Wait for an inhale to come up to stand. Hop your feet together and come back forward. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step or jump back. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog, and roll over those toes, downward facing dog. Settle in down dog. On every exhale, belly engages a little bit. Keep some of that on the inhales. And on an exhale, bend the knees, look forward. We're going to step, hop, or walk forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Let yourself hang. Tilt the pelvis up. Let everything just dangle. And we're going to come back into Utkatasana, chair pose, and come back to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And step or hop into down dog, a little bit easier on the shoulders there. Inhale, upward facing dog, go straight into it, and exhale, down dog. 5 breaths in down dog. On the 5th exhale, look forward, bend your knees, step, hop, or walk forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale out of your mouth. Pull your belly in, Uddiyana Bandha. Flare the ribs. Inhale, squat. Exhale, come to stand. Bring your feet towards each other. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, jump to down dog. Inhale, up dog on your toes, and exhale, down dog. 5 more breaths.
And on the bottom of the fifth exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop your feet forward wide. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, belly in, flare the ribs, hold the exhale. When you need a breath, drop the hips, squat, and exhale, come to standing. Feet come towards each other. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, hop to down dog. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. 5 more breaths. Long inhales, long exhales. There's no rush. Feel your belly move, your diaphragm expand. And from here, drop the right heel down, drop the left heel down, step the right foot forward, warrior one stance. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Palms can touch, tilt your head back a little bit to gaze up towards your hands. And then interlace your hands behind you. Pull the fists down so your chest lifts, lower ribs are in. We're going to do a variation of humble warrior. So round the upper back, let the arms come away from your low back. Gaze towards your back foot, maybe. So here you're using your core to support your spine as you're rounding. You're pressing into your feet. And then come back up. Inhale. Keep that interlace of your hands. Bring more weight onto the right foot. And then heel toe the left foot. Come up onto your left toes until you don't need the left toes for warrior 3. The left inner thigh spins up. Reach your heart forward. Come back where we came from, warrior 1. Inhale, arms reach up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come towards your heart and then open up, warrior 2. Warrior 2, give yourself a nice wider stance and that the back thigh keeps really strongly pressing back. The right knee opens a little bit more to the right. Flip both of your palms to point up. Feel what that does in your shoulders and keep that action in your shoulders, that externally rotated arm. So you're rotating the bottom armpit up, the top inner armpit back, like someone's rolling your shoulders back. Then inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep the back leg strong. Bend the top arm like a chicken wing. And extend the top arm forward. Keep your feet real firm on the floor. Your legs are so strong here. Release the bottom hand to the inside or the outside of your foot. If you have a block, great. And keep working to roll the top chest open, the bottom ribs open. Maybe bring the left hand behind you. The right arm might sneak underneath that right thigh to find your fingertips for some clothing, for a bind. Come back up into warrior 2. Straighten out the front leg. Pivot the back foot in a little bit. And reach your arms out like a T. Kick the hips back towards the back of the mat. Right hand comes down. Left hand reaches up. So your spine is one long line. Your glutes are shooting towards the back heel here. We're breathing a lot. This feels so good. I love triangle pose. Top arm reaches all the way up, open, and down. Pivot up onto the left heel. So now you're in your lunge. Keep the left hand down and stretch the right arm up. So twisted lunge, twisted high lunge. Heel to the right foot over towards the right, and now the right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Either stay like that or step the right foot back onto the left. Lift your hips up high, Vashisthasana, side plank. You can play with lifting the top leg, and you can see my entire sole of the left foot is on the floor. Maybe touch fingers, it doesn't matter. And then bring the right foot back forward to where you originally came from, wherever you are. And now we're back in our twisted high lunge. Feels good to lift the outer hip. And now, fun transition, half moon. Right hand comes down a little bit behind you. Lift the left leg up. So we're in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Be really strong here. Bend the top knee. So that left knee is bent. Hold on to the foot. Open the top of your thigh. Breathe into that thigh. Step back where we came from originally in our triangle. Left arm reaches over and down once again. And this time drop the left knee. We're going to get a nice stretch in the top of this left thigh. Both hands on the inside of the right foot. So stretch in the top of that thigh area. Bend the left knee if you can, and the right arm reaches up and around. You totally don't have to do this. You can hang out wherever you are. We're going to play with rolling onto the inner part of our knee and bringing the foot towards our leg. So you're externally rotating the left hip. You'll feel it more on the inner quad. Drop down onto your forearm like I did if you want to. Totally unnecessary. Well, yeah, it's not necessary. Release that back leg. Lift the leg and step into your down dog. Notice any difference side to side. You've got to do that whole thing on the other side. Luckily, we only have 2 sides. We're not like an octopus with 8 sides. So warrior 1, drop the back heel, step the left foot forward, inhale, arms reach up. Hands and release behind you, pull the fists down to lift the heart, lift the chest. And humble warrior, our variation here. So round the spine. Keep the belly pulling in, the ribs are pulling in, the feet are strong, they're pressing down. Inhale, come back up. We're going to move into warrior 3. So step the back foot in a little bit. Reach the chest forward, and the inner thigh of the right leg lifts up. You're being pulled in both directions. Head forward, foot back. Flying. Flying. Come back where you came from, warrior 1. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Open up warrior 2. Don't mind me, I had to switch sides so I could see the camera since I was talking this whole time. And again, imagine someone is holding your shoulders and they roll them backwards. So the back underarm comes forward, front underarm goes up. Reverse with warrior. Reached up and back, and then extended side ankle. Arm like a chicken wing, and extend that arm forward. Bring the right arm behind you. Left arm can sneak under if you're going for a bind. If not, just hang out in your extended side angle. Release, come back up towards your warrior 2. Crawl that back foot in a little bit. Toes can turn slightly in. And keep your legs really engaged. Your legs are super strong here. Keep pressing your thighs back onto your thigh bones. So yeah, they're your femur bones. You're externally rotating that front foot, and then reach your arms out like a T. Keep reaching through the left arm until you can't reach any further. So get really long in your trunk. Pivot the left hand down, right arm up. So here I'm hovering my bottom arm,
makes it a bit harder on your core. You can also hold on to your ankle or maybe hold on to a block underneath your left hand, but the lighter you are with that left hand, the harder. Stretch the right arm all the way up and over until the right hand lands on the floor. And then place the right hand firmly on the floor. Lift the left arm up so you're rotating. That back leg is still really strong. You can bring your hand to your low back to feel what's happening there. Try to keep your hips pretty level. And then we're going to move into side plank. So here's one option. Drop the back knee, step the left foot back. A second option is to roll onto the pinky edge side of the right foot and then step the left foot back. Maybe step the right foot a little bit more towards your right hand so you can get the entire sole of your right foot on the floor. That's what I'm demonstrating here. And then it makes it easier when your whole foot is on the floor. Then you can do things like lifting the left leg up. See, my right hand is a little bit in front of my right shoulder, so that's also easy. You can hold on to the left big toes with your peace fingers, lift the left leg way up, and wherever you are, step the left foot back forward where we started. Drop the right knee, release the right toes, so we're in our lizard-like position. My hands are on the floor, but take whatever variation you want to here. You can bend the right knee, reach around with the left hand. That's one option. So you can stay there in a twist. You can lower onto the right forearm to go a little bit deeper. Wherever you are, try to move a little bit more from the center of your pelvis rather than just sinking into your groin. And I just switched sides because I was talking to the camera, which didn't record. Again, apologies for this. Breathe. Release the back toes. Lift up that leg and step back into your downward facing dog. Breathe in down dog. Bend your knees. Hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Suck the belly in, Uddiyana Bandha. Roll out the wrists. And then bring your hands to your hips with an inhale and a flat back. Come up to stand. Here we are in Tadasana, so find your feet. They can be close together. And then sweep the arms down and up as you sit back towards a chair pose. Bring the weight into your left foot. Come up onto the right ball of your foot until you lift the right knee up and then cross the right ankle on top of the left knee. Bring your hands to heart center and you can bend deeper into that left knee. So you're stretching out the right outer hip. As you gain your balance, keep the hips as level as you can, and then you can begin to bring your forearms in front of the shin. And keep breathing there. You can either stay upright or bring your hands down to the floor, or your hands can come to blocks, of course, if they don't meet the floor. We're really just enjoying the stretch in the right outer hip and the left leg, so you can also begin to straighten out that left leg. We are going to move into an arm balance, but if you want to just hang out here, this is totally enough to be where you are. Keep breathing. Feel what you feel. Take your time. And place both hands firm on the floor if you are moving into the arm balance, or you can just go step by step. So fingers spread, root into your knuckles and the roots of your fingers. So really pressing into the fingertips. The right foot, those toes are wrapping around my left tricep, and you can see that right there. So keep that foot as high up on the arm as you can. It has a tendency to slip down. The right knee goes onto your right tricep pretty high up as well. Step your hands forward so you have a little bit more room, and then begin to bring your weight. Your shin is going to press into your arms. Everything kind of happens simultaneously. So your weight is coming onto your hands. So you're in figure 4 with your weight on your hands, and lift the left foot up. Maybe extend the left leg back. I swear I did it. You can't see it from this angle. It doesn't even matter if I did it or not, but you can try and just have fun with it. Notice what happens in your head, your mind, and keep breathing. None of this matters. They're just shapes. And let yourself fold forward. Come back up to stand. Shake it out. Give yourself a wiggle. Let's do the other side now. Back into your chair pose. Forget about what just happened on that previous side. Weight goes into your right foot. Lift the left knee up. Cross the ankle. Sit down into your four-legged chair. Palms can come to your heart. And if you're working with balance, just stay here. You can bring your hand to a wall. This might be enough on your hips also. Otherwise, bring your hands to your hips so you can feel what your sit bones are doing, just always bringing more awareness into different body parts. Hands can come to the floor, to blocks, whatever you've got. Begin to straighten out the right leg. Feel how juicy that can get into your left outer hip and the back of the right leg. It all should feel pretty good. Hands flat on the floor. Again, work in those fingers, the fingertips. Snuggle the right toes on top of the right armpit. Walk your hands out and then begin to bring your weight more onto your hands. The right toes can lift up. Pull the right toes in towards your butt. And then use the strength of the back of the leg to extend that leg up and back, maybe just for a moment, and try to breathe as you do it. Your breath definitely changes when you're in this pose. That's okay. Just notice it. And lift your feet up. Palms go underneath your feet. Toes up onto your wrist. You can wag your bum, shake your head out, releasing your wrists. Breathe. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. And walk your feet out, toes out. Sit into your Malasana Yogi Squat. Palms can come to your heart. And you can play with walking your feet in a little bit closer together as well. Sometimes I feel like that feels good. Bring the backs of your hands together for another stretch on your wrists. And there I just decided to move my feet away again. And then the left hand comes down to the floor. Reach the right arm up. You can stay like that or bind. So the arm is still in front of your leg as you bind. Just let this feel good. You're opening your chest, twisting. Keep awareness in both legs. Hands come back to your heart. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time, right hand down, left arm reaches up. Maybe bind. So notice your feet here. Try not to sink into your arches too much. Keep lifting the arches. Good. And simply sit down onto your bum. Reach your hands out forward, lift your heart, and then round your back, Pilates, roll yourself all the way down onto the floor. Walk your feet a little bit in closer towards you. Feet are firm on the floor. Extend your tailbone down towards your heel so your back is long. Feel your whole vertebra pressing on the floor if you can. And we're going to move into some bridge poses with the Uddiyana Bandha breathing. So Uddiyana Bandha, that's like your belly lock. It's the second lock. We're also going to work with the Mula Bandha, which is lifting the pelvic floor. So press your hands into your legs to feel some more space in your belly. Inhale, reach the arms overhead as you lift the hips. Exhale all of the air out. Hold the air out. Flare your ribs. Keep the exhale out and then lower your pelvis towards your feet. And I like guiding my hands along the front of my spine as the back of my body lowers down so I can feel what it's doing. Press your hands into your legs and take an inhale when you need it to release. But hold out. That's where the action is, the Uddiyana Bandha. Good. And then again, inhale, lift the hips, arms go up overhead. Exhale all of it out. So exhale through your mouth, lower down, holding the exhale out. And then you can press your hands into your thighs to really feel the hollowness of your belly. And go at your own pace. When you need an inhale, lift the hips, arms overhead. Exhale out of your mouth. Hold the exhale out and lower all the way down. One vertebra at a time. Hands press into the thighs. Keep the exhale out. You can drop your chin for the throat lock as well. Jalavasana Bandha. When you need the inhale, lift the hips, arms reach overhead. And this time, bring your hands down next to your sides. Keep the Mula Bandha, keep the Uddiyana Bandha. We're going to work our bridge pose. Please breathe as you do this. I'm not holding my breath this whole time. So crawl your shoulder blades under a little bit. Keep the feet pressing down. Your arms can press down. Sternum lifts towards your chin. The bottom of your legs are working here, so use those hamstrings. Bring the right knee in towards your chest, then lift the right leg up. Ekapada. Right foot comes down, walk it a little bit more towards the midline. Left knee comes to your chest, lift the left leg up. So really work in our glutes here. Both feet onto the floor, lift the hips again. And gently lower down. Just breathe there, feel the residue of those poses. Either repeat bridge or let's move to wheel. Reach your arms overhead, stretching out the shoulders, and then bend your elbows so your hands plant onto the floor. Take an inhale, exhale completely, engage the pelvic floor, and then when you're ready, lift to the top of your head and lift all the way up. Inhale when you get there. Hang out in your back bend, so opening the whole front of your body. You can be doing bridge if wheel is not in your practice. But if you can do wheel, by all means, please come up into wheel. If you prefer bow, roll onto your belly for some bow pose. And when you're ready, tuck your chin, roll back down. Take your time and stay there as long as you want to. Bring one hand to the heart, the other to the belly. Notice any shift in energy after back bends. They can be rather invigorating. I love back bends, but they come a bit easier to me. Let's do another one. Arms reach up overhead. Bend the elbows, fingers point back towards you. Flip your hair out of the way and press on up. Move your tailbone a little bit more towards your feet, probably to get some more length in the low back. I love the way my head can just hang here. And then tuck your chin in, come back down, but take your time. You can stay up there as long as you want to. Feet wide, knees knocked together, or relish in it. Extend the left leg long. Bend the right knee. And then lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your right leg. Rather than trying to pull your right leg towards you, press your leg into your hands so that your femur bone is just sinking into the hip socket here. It feels really good, quite therapeutic for the low back. It might feel weird at first, but eventually, kind of like down dog, this will just feel like home. Resetting our back after those back bends. You can twirl the ankle. Notice the breath. Breathe with your whole body. Bend the right knee and extend the leg long. Switch sides, bend the left knee, interlace your hands. You can switch the interlace and extend the left leg up high. Press the left thigh into your hand so the femur bone is heavy into the hip socket. You can play with rolling out the ankle a little bit. Recentering, bring yourself to stillness. And place both feet on the floor. Let's do some twists. Lift the hips, move them over to the right. Let your knees come up towards the left shoulder. Left hand can go on the knees. Keep your right shoulder on the floor. That's more important than your knees landing. You can gaze over to the right. So really any variations of your spinal twists will work well here. And come back to center. Let's switch sides. Hips move over to the left. Let the legs fall to the right. Left shoulder stays on the floor. Gaze towards the left to finish off the twist. And come back to center. Happy baby, reach towards the inner feet or the outer feet. So knees are outside of your waist. You can play with extending one leg. Roll onto whatever side of the extended leg. Roll over onto that hip. And that should feel extra juicy. You can extend both legs. Rock a little bit side to side. And then pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug so you can rock and roll forward and back to come up onto a seat. And go grab your blanket. I actually have to get up and go get my blanket. And with your blanket, see, I don't have a yoga blanket, but it's okay. Whatever kind of blanket you have, open it up, fold it a couple of times. We're going to make like a long hot dog shape and then roll it. Yep, so there's the hot dog shape. And then bring it to the short edge side of your mat. It takes a while to line everything up and begin to roll it. A tight roll up the short side of the blanket. We're going to lay on this. So that roll is going to go, you can feel where your bones are, your hip bones. Put the roll right there. So your roll is in your low belly, below your belly button. And it can go up further too, but find that nice space. So it's really digging into your psoas muscles. And there's lots of nerves right here in this belly space. This is also really great for doing back bends. It's kind of like a back bend itself. And just kind of try to stay there and breathe. It might be a lot of sensation, but that's good. Keep breathing with it. If you had your cheek to one side, let's just switch so the opposite cheek is on the floor. And again, as in the beginning of class, I'm going to be quiet here for a while, but we're still practicing, so keep breathing, staying present with your breath, with your body, with your thoughts, but let those thoughts go. Preparing to move a little bit again, come up onto your forearms. So we're in Sphinx pose. Reach your heart forward, shoulders are down. And then press onto your elbows and your knees to come up. And sit back towards your heels, child's pose. Breathe into your back body. Notice any difference. And come back up. I'm going to leave my blanket there because it's super comfy. And turn around, just lay down on your blanket. I'm going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees apart. You can bring a hand to your heart, a hand to your belly. So feel the beat of your heart. You also might feel a beat in your belly now and before. We're going to do just a little bit of breathing before Shavasana. So a good breath for balance, Nadi Shonama. And when you're ready, bring that left hand to your face. Peace fingers go between your eyebrows to your third eye. And then you're going to have your thumb to your left nostril, your ring finger to your right nostril. And first, just take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And then cover up the left nostril with your thumb. Inhale through the right. Cover the right nostril with that ring finger and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Cover the left nostril with your thumb. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Cover the right nostril with your ring finger and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Cover that nostril with the thumb and exhale through the right. Continue this for a few more rounds. If you get tired, just switch hands. And when you notice one side, one nostril that's a little bit clogged, more clogged than the other, please just stay on that one side for a few breaths. And release the breathing. And stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Feel free to pause this so YouTube doesn't keep looping. Otherwise, I will wake you in about 3 minutes. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. Let yourself be super long and tall. Take up lots of space. Roll over onto whichever side was more clear, and press yourself up into a seat. Like right where we started. Sit up nice and tall and sit up on something. And I invite you to again close your eyes and come back to the breath. Do a body scan. Feel your energy. Bring your palms to your belly and then circle your palms in circles to the right. Really moving around that energy. And relax. Bring your hands to heart center, and thank you, yogis, for staying. Peace. Om Shanti Chanti. Namaste.